what's up? We have a couple of things to talk about today, and we have a new piece of UFO footage that was released by none other than Tom DeLonge, as well as groundbreaking New York Times article which discusses the Pentagon's mysterious UFO program that was apparently going on under the noses of the public for years before being shut down. Now, this piece of UFO footage that you're about to see was released by the Defense Department, and it was part of their Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. And so, this is mentioned in the New York Times article. It was also featured on Tom DeLonge's To the Stars page. So you guys take a look at it and tell me what you think, and we'll talk more about it in just a minute.
Dude, that is a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing! It's rotating.
Okay, so interesting clip. Unfortunately, we don't get the full video, which kind of irked me. It's degraded, we know that much, but it seems to be a legitimate clip taken by an F-18 Super Hornet jet as it tracked this mysterious gravity-defying, some would say unidentified object. According to this new article, in the $600 billion annual Defense Department's budget, the $22 million that was spent on the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program was almost impossible to find, which is exactly how the Pentagon wanted it. For years, the program investigated reports of unidentified flying objects according to the department officials, and was operated by a military intelligence official, Luis Elizondo, on the 5th floor of the Pentagon, sea ring deep within the building's maze. The Defense Department never before acknowledged the existence of the program, which says it was shut down in 2012. But its backers say that while the Pentagon ended funding for the effort at that time, the program remains in existence. For the past 5 years, they say officials within the program have continued to investigate episodes brought to them while also fulfilling their other duties. The shadowy program, which remains partly classified, began in 2007, and initially it was largely funded at request of Harry Reid, the Nevada Democrat who was the Senate Majority Leader at the time, and who has had a long-standing interest in the aerospace phenomena. Most of the money went on to an aerospace research company run by a billionaire entrepreneur and longtime friend of Mr. Reid, Robert Bigelow, who many of you may know. He was the man who is working with NASA right now to produce an expandable craft for humans to use in space. On CBS's 60 Minutes, Mr. Bigelow back in May said that he was absolutely convinced that aliens exist and that UFOs have visited Earth. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Working with Mr. Bigelow's Las Vegas-based company, the program produced documents that describe sightings of aircraft that seem to move at very high velocities with no visible signs of propulsion, or that hovered and with no apparent means of lift. Officials with the program have also studied videos of encounters between unknown objects and American aircraft, including one released in August of a whitish oval object about the size of a commercial plane that was chased by 2 F-18 fighters from the aircraft carrier Nimitz off the coast of San Diego in 2004. This video has been featured before, but if you haven't seen it, here it is. So, in response to the questions from the New York Times while doing this article, Pentagon officials this month acknowledged the existence of the program, but insisted that the efforts had ended after 5 years in 2012, stating, "It was determined that there were other higher priority issues that merited funding, and it was the best interest of the DoD to make a change." However, Mr. Elizondo said that he continued to work within this project up until this past October, after which he resigned to protest what he characterized as excessive secrecy and internal opposition, stating that after he left, there was even a successor named, which he declined to reveal. So there you guys have it. That's not the entire article, but we'll post the link below. There's much more you guys can go ahead and read. Mr. DeLong says that this is one of 3 future military videos that are going to be released of unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAPs as Mr. DeLong has called them. And on his website, he goes into quite a bit of detail talking about this particular piece of footage, the background of the gimbal system that is used by these jets to track objects like this. He also states, this clip here is hard proof that these physics-defying crafts do exist and are routinely tracked in our skies.